हमारे साथ हैं लेफ्टिनेंट जनरल दुष्यंत सिंह, विल टेल अस कि भाई पाकिस्तान से डोनाल्ड ट्रंप ने मांगा एक्चुअली क्या है एंड इजराइल ईरान में क्या होने वाला है, ऑफ कोर्स द पाकिस्तानी रोल इन द वॉर। सर जी नमस्कार, वेलकम टू द शो सर।
नमस्कार आपको भी और आपके ऑडियंस को भी। बहुत दिनों के बाद हम दोबारा आपके चैनल पर आए हैं।
यस
तो
सर।
आपके सभी ऑडियंस को मेरा नमस्कार, सत श्री अकाल, वणक्कम, जय हिंद। और जहाँ तक आज का जो सब्जेक्ट है, काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग सब्जेक्ट है। इस पर कई लोगों के कई अलग अलग इंटरप्रिटेशंस हैं। अब ईरान में अगर आप पूछेंगे उन लोगों से तो उनके जो वहाँ के एकेडमिशियंस हैं, थिंक टैंकर्स हैं, वो अलग सोचते हैं। पाकिस्तान से पूछेंगे तो अलग सोचते हैं, इंडिया से पूछेंगे तो अलग सोचते हैं, और अमेरिका से पूछते हैं तो कुछ नहीं सोचते हैं। क्योंकि अमेरिका में जो एडवाइस दी जा रही है उसके बरखिलाफ काम हो रहा है। अगर ट्रंप की टीम कुछ बोलती भी है तो ट्रंप वही करते हैं जो उनका मन करता है। अभी जो हाल ही में उन्होंने किया बड़ा ही इंटरेस्टिंग है। मैं आपके जो सब्जेक्ट है उससे पहले मैं इस बात पे थोड़ा सा, आज मेरा आर्टिकल एक पब्लिश हुआ है फर्स्ट पोस्ट में, और उसमें मैंने लिखा है कि फ्लर्टिंग विथ फायर, उसकी हेडिंग है फ्लर्टिंग विथ फायर, वेस्ट सडन टर्न अराउंड ऑन बीइंग बेनेवोलेंट एंड सॉफ्ट ऑन पाकिस्तान। सो इसका सिंपल सा मतलब होता है कि कोई यहाँ पर फ्री लंचेस नहीं देता है, ठीक है ना। नोबडी गिव्स यू benefits on the platter without any expectations. So what has actually happened with Trump and Munir's visit to America, एक तो ये है कि this was a mutual benefit kind of a trip which took place. So both wanted something from each other. That's obvious based on the last few days, पिछले कई दिनों से जो इवेंट्स चल रहे हैं, अनफोल्ड हो रहे हैं। ऑप सिंदूर से शुरू हुआ था और आज ट्रंप कल कल ट्रंप ने शायद उसको एक्सेप्ट भी कर लिया कि मोदी ने, प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी ने नहीं रिक्वेस्ट करी थी मुझसे। प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी ने अपनी तरफ से वॉर को रोका है, लेकिन पाकिस्तान को मैंने रोका है। तो अब उन्होंने थोड़ा सा अपनी स्टेटमेंट को निवांस किया है, क्योंकि एक चीज तो आपको माननी पड़ेगी कि अमेरिका में एडवाइजर्स जो होते हैं ना, वो काफी दे आर ऑल्सो पार्ट ऑफ द डीप स्टेट। सो उनको राइट टाइम पे करेक्ट करते रहते हैं कि भाई इतने भी मत हो जाओ कि बाद में कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं रहे आपको बात करने के लिए। एंड इंडिया for once, I think in many years, has shown that it means business when it is talking to somebody, right? So therefore, when Modi refused a stopover, it was basically to undermine the double game which POTUS was
ट्रंप
playing.
खेलने वाला था, हाँ हाँ।
He was planning for a face-off with Munir during the luncheon hour, and to hyphenate India with Pakistan, which India will oppose tooth and nail till cows come home. मतलब if even if Trump tries to hyphenate India with Pakistan, ये कभी होने नहीं वाला है,
करने दो
क्योंकि
जितना कुछ।
हमारे लिए पाकिस्तान कुछ है ही नहीं, वजूद ही नहीं पाकिस्तान का हमारे लिए। For India, Pakistan is a non-existent country which needs to be left to its fate, and we know what its fate could be, given the fact the kind of problems which it is facing.
क्या हो रहा है
But
उसके पास?
Pakistan has a very beautiful laddu in his hand. उसके हाथ में ना एक बहुत बड़ा लड्डू है. That very laddu is geographical location, and it takes full advantage of that geographical location, because अभी जो what is happening, ongoing war with Iran and Israel, do you think Op Sindoor was stop? I mean, the Americans told Pakistan to stop Op Sindoor just like that? They were so keen on having a kind of a detente between India, because a day prior, JD Vance has said that was not our area and we are not interested in what is happening in that particular part of the world. And second day, suddenly they became so interested that they told Pakistan, "Hey, brother, stop the war."
रुक
That
जा
was
जल्दी से।
That was with their future plan, and you found that there was an increased aerial activities of Pakistan, of US aircrafts over Pakistan. Noor Khan base, there are number of reports. It may be conspiracy. अभी ऐसा नहीं मैं कह रहा हूँ कि it is true, because there are no factual confirmations by the countries, that is US and America, sorry, US and Pakistan. But the fact that these reports were coming on, which means that Pakistan was to be utilized for some things which the US had to do. So
कुछ होना
therefore,
था.
so it was basically an advanced action to tell Pakistan that if you keep on getting hammered like this, how will we operate? How will we get the airspace? The counter logic to this is, which is being also trolled, I mean, put out on the media, social media, is that why America went into stopping the war of Pakistan, because it's not really interested in Iran and all that. Iran, it can tackle with the existing bases which are there in the Middle East, and the two aircraft carriers which they have now brought in around the Iranian, sorry, Arabian Sea, which is Wilson and I think Ford, Gerard Ford. These are the two. Some people are saying Nimitz. I'm not very sure, but there are two
निमिट्स आ
carriers.
रहा है सर अभी वो चाइना में डिप्लॉयड था वो
हाँ.
रास्ते में अभी.
But Gerard Ford and Wilson was the one who were the one which have been moved toward this particular area. So what I'm trying to say is that the logic was that US doesn't need Pakistan to really tackle Iran. Fine, they have 40,000 to 50,000 troops in Middle East. Agreed. It's a confirmed fact. There are uh, uh, evidence-based sources to say so. They are based in Qatar, Oman. These are the bases where Kuwait. These are the bases where they are located. So therefore, they can tackle Iran existing. But what will be the implication? For that, you must listen to what Iran is saying. That should US join the Iran-Israel conflict, then US is open to attack on its bases. And you know how far is Oman from Iran?
सामने तो है.
तो उनका जो you remember the missile battles which used to take place during Iran-Iraq war? Silk, what was the missile? Silkworm missile or something like that. This was the name
Women's
of
studs.
yeah. So those scuds were, of course, but the Iranians used to use more of the silk variety. So they have been a past master in missile warfare, and Iranians are believed to have enough stockpiles to keep them going for a certain amount of time. Definitely more than the Israelis in terms of stockpile. So therefore, the Americans will actually pave the way for attack on their bases, and they have said so in very clear terms. I was interacting, or rather, there was a program on Beyond in which there was a guest from Iran who professor and a DG of a think tank or chair of a think tank in Iran. He says that if US joins, then they are open to attack by Iran on their bases which are in the Middle East. So therefore, I think the Iranians are also very clear about what they will do should America get into this battle. Now coming on to Pakistan, that is the question which we are asking. What is the role of Pakistan? So therefore, Pakistan to me seems to be playing the double game. It sees an opportunity here, that this is the best opportunity to exploit the United States of America and the West in general to offer जितना भी फैसिलिटीज हो सकता है हम दे सकें, सो दैट दे गेट इन रिटर्न मोर मनी, मोर एड, एफएटीएफ उसके पिछवाड़े से दूर चली जाए, नहीं तो उसको पिछवाड़ा लाल हो जाएगा, because FATF has condemned the Pakistani attack on Pahalgam, which is a direct sign that India's efforts towards putting the FATF behind Pakistan is working. 3 बार it has already gone into the grey list of FATF. चौथी बार की लाइनअप हो रही है, despite the fact that it is co-chairing 2 chairs in United UN Security Council, one on Taliban sanctions and the second one on counter-terrorism. That
वाइस
part,
चेयर वाइस चेयर है उसमें.
तो को चेयर ही हो गया, मतलब वाइस चेयर मीन्स he'll also be equally effective. So out of the 10 countries which are there in this chair, vice chair is also a big kind of a position. So what I'm trying to say is that FATF is still going ahead. FATF is not directly answerable to the UNSC. So if the FATF puts, and they're going to have the hearing in a day or so, if the FATF puts Pakistan in the grey list, so मुनीर की मजबूरी थी अमेरिका जाने की, न कि अमेरिका की मजबूरी थी मुनीर को बुलाने की. एक बात मैं आपको बता दूं, इनवाइट और समनिंग में बहुत थोड़ा सा ही अंतर है. जिसको लोग इनवाइट इनवाइट बोल रहे हैं ना, it's actually summoning the puppet. Hey partner, come here, behave or I will sort you out. So currently Munir has been called there to be given a rap that you fall in line, give the entire support to America, whatever it wants, or to Israel, and the support need not be publicly displayed.
तो
Publicly,
एयर स्पेस यूज करने तो दे सकता है ना.
देखो एयर स्पेस वगैरह अगर पाकिस्तान का यूज कर भी रहा है, आई नो देर आर सम थिंक टैंकर्स और सम एक्सपर्ट, सो कॉल्ड डिफेंस एक्सपर्ट, who are saying, you know, if you attack from the Pakistani side, you are facing the other side of the hill face of the mountains. Yeah, I mean, when you are attacking somebody with supersonic and hypersonic missiles and all, they can always maneuver to the reverse side. There are imageries which will be there and will attack them from anywhere, any direction. Those kind of things are not really important. What is important is posturing. Once you are postured from 2-3 direction, then the country which is under threat, वो फिर घबराती है. दैट बिकम द लिटिल हेम्ड इन. उसको थोड़ा सा वो लगता है कि भाई किस तरफ मैं प्रेशर, किस तरफ, वेयर शुड आई फोकस, शुड आई फोकस ऑन पर्शियन गल्फ, शुड आई फोकस ऑन द Israeli direct attack, should I focus on toward the Pakistani side? So these are the dilemmas which will be there in the mind of the Iranians. So it is basically from that perspective that Pakistan, US wants bases in Pakistan, and ये आज से नहीं है. You remember I have had number of programs on your channel where I have said that US wants military bases. After 2011, it has reduced the number of bases, and over a period of time, it's only a kind of a tacit or covert presence of the Americans which is there. They want it in a full-fledged format, and the Op Sindoor probably gave them that opportunity. And today there are reports, although not confirmed, that there are 4 bases which are now in the hands of the Americans. Nur Khan being the one in the show window, and there are two, three more. I'm forgetting their names, but these
Samugli
are.
and Samugli
Even
and
I, if you wait,
Tarbela.
I can do that. Yeah, yeah, that's right. That's right. So there are these unconfirmed reports that the Americans are in full control of these bases. Now, whether they are for nuclear asset or whether they are for Iran is immaterial. They are there for multiple purposes. They are there to check on China. They are there for to check on Iran. They are there for to check on Pakistan itself, lest it starts misbehaving again. So, to my mind, Pakistan was summoned by Trump. Trump wanted to somehow rope in the Prime Minister of India into this, to again hyphenate and come out with this so-called thing that he is the architect of Sindoor. So, with one step, he was trying to address the Iranian-Israeli problem, as also the recent decline in the US-India relationship. Right? So what happened? India refused. So what does he do? He told this baby of his, okay, now you give support to me for my Nobel Prize. So Munir tells, okay, I think President Trump needs to be nominated for Nobel Prize for what? He's not been able to stop the Israeli-Hamas war. He's not been able to stop the Russia-Ukraine war. He has created a Israel-Iran fiasco now, which is not seeing the end, and it is turning out to be another Israel-Hamas kind of a conflict.
एग्जिट स्ट्रैटेजी नहीं है सर, एग्जिट स्ट्रैटेजी नहीं दिख रही. एग्जैक्टली, एब्सोल्युटली
They
करेक्ट.
they they are unable to have a kind of a end to a war plan. The only end they can visualize is run away from. Whether it was Syria, they ran away from Syria. They first collaborated with Kurd. They collaborated even with, I think, many other groups there. And ultimately, what they left them all in the, high and dry. They left the Kurds high and dry for the Turks to literally bash them up. So how do you believe such a entity? So they left. They ran away from Syria. They ran away from Afghanistan. They ran away from Vietnam. They ran away. कहाँ से run away की बात करूँ मैं? So therefore, what I'm trying to say is Trump has no locus standi. That is a different matter that people might still give him Nobel Prize. But if you have to really analyze his efforts till now, I don't see any kind of contribution toward the Nobel Peace Prize. In fact, he has undermined the ceasefire efforts which were going on. Whether it
ये
was Russia,
बाकी तो अलग है सर, सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट यू, बट व्हाट काइंड ऑफ अ पर्सन, ये कैसा आदमी है? नहीं, मेरे को नोबेल पीस प्राइज चाहिए.
वही तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ. That's what I'm trying to say. That this man is a level a level more than what you see. If I were to even simply rate successes of the previous chiefs of army staff of Pakistan, just it is not nothing to do. I don't support none of those jokers. I don't support any of the Pakistani chiefs of army staff because they have only one agenda: personal image building, personal growth, personal benefit accrual. They have no national agenda whatsoever. But even if you have to compare with the past chiefs, I think there were chiefs who had greater success than this fellow. Yet he self anoints himself as the field marshal or field marshal, whatever you want to call him.
हित मार्शल सर.
You see, there is a problem of psychology as far as Munir is concerned. You must realize this. What is that problem? He suffers from a gross inferiority complex. This man is highly inferior in his self assessment, self personality assessment. And it all stems from the fact that there are people in the Pakistani army who feel that he did not deserve to become the chief. And like in any army, wherever we are, there is a trend which is there. How can a short service officer become a chief of the army staff? In India, it has never happened. It happened only in Pakistan. Do you think the Pakistani army officers emanated from Jannat? They emanated from the land of Sindhu River, which is the domain of Hinduism, starting from Kanyakumari to Sindh. That was the definition of Hinduism. It is not a religion, it's a civilization, it's a culture. They are from the same culture. So, if they are from the same culture, the thinking process has to be the same. That, so right from the beginning, he has been suffering from this. He was removed as DGISI. That was the first nail on his head. Somebody actually must have advised him, ये किसको बना रहे हो यार आप?
नहीं नहीं सर, उसने उसकी क्या किया था, इसने इमरान खान की बीवी की जो इन्फ्लुएंस ऑपरेशन करती थी उसके बारे में फाइल लेके चले गया था.
I know that all that is known, but he went because he was that typically. But ultimately, you have to grant to this man that he managed to achieve his aim of getting into the history of Pakistan as a field marshal or field marshal, whatever you want to call it, and he's exploiting this thing. You see, he's exploiting this thing. So he is exploited. He's playing a fantastic double game with the Chinese, with the US, and with the Iranians also now. See, on the face of it, if you look at the narrative which is throwing out from Pakistan is what? We support Iran. We condemn the attacks of Israel on innocent civilians, etc. All these are coming out officially. Qaza Asif has said this. There should be the peace talks between the two. The war should be stopped immediately. And underhand, if you are so concerned with the Iranians, why did he go to America and have lunch with Trump? So this guy is absolute opportunity seeker. He has no ideology. He has nothing like that. He will talk anything required for his personal benefit. Possibly, he is also responsible for the Iran Israel conflict. Had had he not supported America, and to my mind, I am maybe wrong. This is my assessment only. I'm not saying that. I'm not undermining a neighboring nation because we are enemies. I'm just saying that suddenly the entire world starts showering benefits on you, puts you on committees where you are supposed to be a sponsor of terrorism. It ignores the fact that Osama bin Laden was found in Pakistan. It ignores the fact that so many bombings which took place, whether in Europe, etc., or London, they all happened without Pakistani involvement in that. You would have offered some assurance, some help, and these help could be in terms of intelligence. Who has a common border with Iran? Israel or Pakistan? Who has a say with Sistanis, Baluchis? Israelis or Pakistan? Who attacked the grave? Who attacked the mass gathering at the grave of Soleimani in
Pakistan.
2024? Pakistan. I mean, intelligence of Pakistan, ISI. Who has
IS,
provided all? Who has
ISKP, sir.
provided? Yes. Who has provided the specific information of various air defense radars of Iran to Israel? Logically, just think over it. Mossad, very good. I give all the credit to Mossad. But Mossad also has to work through someone. No?
Mm.
There are two sources. One by Azerbaijan. And Azerbaijan is what? Pakistan's newly found friend.